Yes, sir. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy RegDolla, and we are back. This is the GOATED MyNBA series, and we're at the end of the season. After the All-Star break, we ended up simming to the end of the season, and there's only one game left between these two trash teams, so it doesn't really matter. But we got everything. We about to break down everything that happened. Basically, to recap, take a look at the league leaders, the best offense, defense, the MVPs, the All NBA teams, the standings, and all that. So that's about to be on this video. I don't know how long it's about to be, but I'm gonna try and make it as fast, but keep y'all up to speed and recap everything as good as possible. But lock in with me. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, do all that great stuff, and let's get into this without further ado. And the best team this year, and the GOATED year, man, where it really started. Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons have the best record at 55 wins. And 55 is not too big, like so much wins. It's a lot of wins, but it's not like one of the 58, 60 game win, 60 win teams. But the league is just so stacked, man. Like, let's go down to it. We had about 21 teams that basically nearly went 500. We had how much, like 16s that was a game away from going 500. So the league is just so stacked with so much talent around. So winning 55 games is really impressive given the talent that you face on any given night. But let's go into the standings. And the Detroit Pistons clinched the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, followed by the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards. Let's see where they were at last year, or basically the previous season. 27 wins, 27 and 55. You want to know what was the difference? They got Rich Mack, the number 2 pick. He was the big difference on this roster, and they got rid of Julius Randle too, bum ass. But they got Rich Mack, and they basically just doubled their wins. Like, look at that. Would you take a look at that? Flip their whole season around, getting Rich Mack, and they have a basically big three of Marquise Allen, Rich Mack, and Scooter Henderson, all really young guys. And Tyronn Lue just being the coach that he is, a phenomenal coach, Tyronn Lue. That's the 2 seed for you. Then the Milwaukee Bucks ended up getting the 3 seed, led by Giannis Antetokounmpo, putting up MVP numbers as he always does. And we're going to talk about the MVP race as time goes on in this video. But he had also added Derek White to the roster. This is their roster and all that. Josh Christopher, that was a major pickups for them. But Giannis led the way. And the Toronto Raptors, after being number 1 seed last year, picking up Jason Tatum, they got to the 4th spot. But it just shows you how deep this Eastern Conference is, that Toronto got the 4th spot. And at 5, the Charlotte Hornets, who was number 1 at multiple times this season, ended up getting the 5th spot, led by LaMelo Ball, also by Gary Trent, and a potential 6th man of the year, Caleb Taylor, having a breakout year for himself. And the 6th seed ended up being the Memphis Grizzlies. So that means the playing teams is the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Atlanta Hawks, the Brooklyn Nets, the 76ers. And just look at this, bro. We had a tie between 4 different teams, and the tiebreaker ended up going to the Brooklyn Nets and the 76ers. So that means the New York Knicks, they just had bad luck. They added Donovan Mitchell first year, averaged 27 a game, but they still missed the play-in. The play-in, dog. Not in the playoffs. They missed the play-in. They ended up being the 11th seed, and they finished off the season terribly, the Knicks. Let me see if I can go to their record real quick. All right, they lost their last just this stretch after the All-Star break. Like, losing these games, couple of these games, they got oh my god. Nah, they got the brakes beat off them. They got the brakes beat off them by the Grizzlies, the Cavs, the Clippers. Just atrocious losses from this team, and they didn't close out the season the way they needed to, and they ended up missing the play-in game. So another disappointing year for New York and their fans. And where are they at last year? Let's take a look at their record real quick. They won 43 games last year, but that is tough. Losing less games and adding Donovan Mitchell. Also, the Indiana Pacers ended up with 40 wins, but missing out. And they also lost Keontae George at the end of the season with a broken leg. So there's that. The Celtics losing Jason Tatum. lost many games, but the Eastern Conference is pretty much stacked. The second worst team ended up winning 36 games. Let's go to the Western Conference. The number one seed in the West is the two-time defending champs, the New Orleans Pelicans, led by Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram. Arguably still the best duo that we have in the league today and the best offense in the league. And then the second team, second seed is the Denver Nuggets, led by Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Shaden Sharp, and the Rockets ended up getting the third seed with Jalen Green, Chet Holmgren. They added Lonzo Ball, Dariq Whitehead, Alperen Sengun. They got Cole Anthony. So this roster is stacked from top to bottom, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they do with the healthy Jalen Green this year in the playoffs. It was either Jalen Green or Chet got injured last year. And then the fourth spot, we got basically with the same record as the Mavs. We got Luka Doncic leading his team as he does, just putting up spectacular numbers, 29, 8, and 10 assists a game. Also got Fred VanVleet alongside winner Domantas Sabonis. And the Portland Trailblazers up in their victories, winning 20 more games this year, with Ricky Cruz coming back as his sophomore year, drafting Troy Mack, and Michael Porter Jr. and Anthony Simons as being dynamic scorers. Then the 6th seed, the San Antonio Spurs, another team that took a jump, winning 10 more games from last year, with Jaden Ivey taking a lead, Jay Anthony emerging as the season went on, Kayvon Kabongo playing pretty well. But also one thing, 2K is added again with the fake stats, because Kayvon Kabongo did not shoot as well. And let me show y'all this right now. Where the fuck that shit at? All right, wait, actually, it didn't apply for Kayvon. It's going to apply for someone. I think it's someone else. I forgot who it was. But Kayvon Kabongo actually did turn it up as the season went on, because he didn't play too well at the beginning. But the San Antonio Spurs got the 6th spot. So in the play-in, we got the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings, man. Reggie Mack, I told you once he got drafted that he was going to turn this franchise around, and he's the cornerstone piece, the franchise changer, the savior, all that. Let's look at the last time Sacramento had a winning record. Let's dig deep. Let's dig deep. We have to go all the way back to 2006. I bet you some of you guys can't even name the players that was on this roster, but off the top of my head, Kevin Martin was on that roster. Mike Bibby was probably still on that roster. Brad Miller. Ron Artest was on that roster. Yes, Ron Artest was on that roster. And probably Bobby Jackson, too. Other than that, I probably can't name the rest. Probably Francesco Garcia or some shit like that. But that's the last time they had a above 500 record. And the Sacramento Kings are in the playing game for the first time ever, and they have a chance to make it to the playoffs for the first time in 20 years. Last time they made it was in 2006. So Reggie Mack could break the streak and break the curse, and if he does, they got to retire his jersey that night. And the Lakers also had a big jump, winning 22 more games from last year, with Jimbo Jackson just being a dominant force that he has been all season long. And where he at? Let's look at his numbers. 25 points, 12 rebounds. Boy was just dominant. All-star in his second year. Jimbo Jackson leading the team. Then we got the Phoenix Suns, who has been disappointing ever since CP3 retired. Not looking too good for them, but they're still in the play-in. And the Clippers, also with Rudy Gobert, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George, are 39 and 43. So 4 games under 500, but they still have a chance to make it to the playoffs. The Warriors slid out of this because Kuminga and Karl Anthony Towns ended up getting injured. And I think Kuminga ruptured his Achilles. Actually, speaking about that, the rest of the West was ass. So let's just go and look at the injury report real quick before we go on. Jalen Suggs, long ass neck. Nigga neck looked dumb crazy in this. Ended up rupturing his Achilles in the second half of the season. So did Jonathan Kuminga. So that's a big loss for them. I forgot what happened to Karl Anthony Towns, but he ended up coming back like the last couple of games of the season. And Sabonis also has a hand fracture, and that took place the last game of the season. So that's a big loss for the Mavericks. But it looks like Precious Achiuwa and Jared Vanderbilt is gonna have to step in and play more minutes. Other than that, this is the injury report. No one else that's like superstars that really are still out. But what could we get into next? Let's look at the league leaders. Luka Doncic is going to go on to lead the league in scoring, averaging 29 a game. And given the fact that we have so much offensive talent, I'm surprised nobody averaged 30 this year. But Luka Doncic running away with that scoring title. Nikola Jokic up there, rebounds, 12.6. And the assists, this is probably the best passes that we had, collection of passes that we had of all time. Nikola Jokic is 11th in passing, averaging 9.5. We have a second-year guy averaging 9.6. We got a 6'7" guy averaging 9.6. Like we have so much talent. 6'1", just like it doesn't matter how tall you guys. We have so we have someone that's averaging 10 assists a game that is 6'1", and then we also have someone that's averaging basically. Jokic has to be 7 foot. I really thought he was 7 foot, but just like the differential of passers that we have in this league. LaMelo's leading the league in steals with 2.2. Victor Wembanyama and Rich Mack in his first year tying and blocks with 2.7. Mitchell Robinson dunking everything. We have two guys that are rookies in the top 3 in field goal percentage. Who was that? Kobe White. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the Heat was just awful. Corey Kispert led in 3-point percentage. Shout out to him. De'Aaron Fox shit was broke. Nigga need 2,000 on the gun the whole all season. All right, is there anything else to look at from here? All right, now we can look at the team stats real quick. Then we go get into the MVP. What a award race. So team stats, like I said, the best offense went to the New Orleans Pelicans, and it makes sense when you got threats such as Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, C.J. McCollum, also Valanciunas, Dante Mack coming off the bench, Ben Mathurin. Just so much offensive talent on this New Orleans squad, and this is why they are back-to-back defending champs, because it's hard to stop them. Then you got the Houston Rockets with Jalen Green and all the weapons they got. The Indiana Pacers, they didn't have a superstar or that guy, but their offense was just so good. They shot it at a high clip from the three-point line when I was looking. Yeah, they were 30 in threes, averaging 15 a game, shooting 38%. And that Keontae George, if Keontae George is healthy, they would have won way more games, probably 5 more games. The Hornets are definitely up there with LaMelo, commanding everything. Trailblazers, Spurs, Wizards. You guys can see the rest of these. Who was the worst? Oh, the Miami Heat. I don't know why I asked that question. But the best defense, looking at it, the Pistons. The number 1 team in the league, the Pistons ended up having the best defense. The Toronto Raptors are second. And the Washington Wizards, having a young-ass squad like they have, just looking at this squad. They got Kevin Huerter in the starting lineup. Denny Adia is probably the oldest starter other than Kevin. Actually, Kevin Huerter is the oldest starter at 27. And Denny Adia at 25. Then off the bench, you got kids like Monty Bates, Marvin Bagley, who is definitely not known as a defender, Ty Washington, Kevon Looney, and they ended up having a top 3 defense. So I don't know what the hell Ty Lue was doing, but he was doing his thing. The Bucks, anchored by Giannis. The Las Vegas Lions, surprisingly up here. The Nuggets had one of the top defenses. The Kings, there's no surprise. The Kings have a lot of good defenders. Tyrese Halliburton, Reggie Mack is an NBA-ready defender coming out the gate. Adrian Griffin, Brandon Clark, Latrell Cross, Jackson Hayes, Davion Mitchell. So they have length basically throughout this whole team. But now we're about to get into the NBA awards. So let's get into that right now. All right, so executive year, I don't know who the hell this is. So we about to move on. We about to go backwards from just reverse order from you guys when you guys usually see it. All right, so coach of the year ends up going to Quinn Snyder, and Quinn Snyder is the coach of the Detroit Pistons. And I'm surprised Tyronn Lue. If it was my pick, I would have definitely gave it to Tyronn Lue, but can't be mad at Quinn Snyder. League's best record. The most improved goes to James Bouknight after getting traded after his rookie year to Sacramento. Didn't have the best numbers that you really expected from him. Then got traded. Not traded. Wait, did he get? No, he signed with the lines over the offseason and ended up having a breakout year, averaging 21 a game. And shout out to James Bouknight for that. And now we're about to move on to Defensive Player of the Year. And we had a lot of candidates, so let's take a look at the candidates. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr. is the first guy we have in the Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Averaged 2.6 blocks a game, and he kept his defense afloat basically for the whole season. Other than him, there's no one else that was really bringing on consistent basics, and he held it down for them. Next, we got Jonathan Isaac. Jonathan was able to switch 1 through 5 and be that guy defensively, taking on the best perimeter matchup and even wing matchup, whoever it was for who the Mavericks was going up against. Jonathan Isaac defended. Then we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. We know what he's about. Already won multiple Defensive Player of the Years and arguably the best weak side defender that we ever seen. And Giannis has accounting numbers and had anchored one of the best defenses in the league this season. Then we also got Scotty Barnes, one of the best perimeter defenders. Also, Scotty Barnes has the counting stats too: 1.5 steals, 1.6 blocks. And he accepted the challenge of guarding so much different versatile type of players. Next, Evan Mobley. Evan is another guy who's one of the best rim protectors and weak side defenders, averaging 2.5 steals and was able to contest so much different shots and impact so much different shots this season. The winner right now for Defensive Player of the Year goes to Giannis Antetokounmpo for, I believe, the third time, and what he's just able to do from a night-to-night basis, just defensively, is just really ridiculous. One of the best help defenders the game has ever seen. Has the counter stats. One of the best defenses in the league. Giannis is an absolute monster. And moving on to the sixth man of the year, we got Caleb Taylor. And there was really no doubt that he was going to win this award. Caleb Taylor is absolutely spectacular coming off the bench. The best scorer off the bench, and he averaged 18 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and shot 43, 38, and 89. And when that boy gets hot, man, you in for a treat. You are in for a treat with Caleb Taylor. And I'm interested to see what his career high was. Career high is 41. He had a lot of big games. And next, we about to take a look at the rookie year. But let's take a look at the candidates for the rookie of the year. One of the candidates we got is Joe Banks of the Utah Jazz. Joe averaged 13 points, 7 rebounds, 6.6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, and showed off his versatility. As you can see, his signature games, multiple games where he either got a triple-double or was flirting with it, and Joe is just all-around versatile. Next, we got Jabari Mack, averaged 18.6 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, and Jabari Mack was just a bucket getter. Had a career-high 43 points against the Milwaukee Bucks and other high-scoring performances from him. And next, we got Austin Mack, another guy that averaged one of the 3 guys in this class averaged 20 plus per game and had spectacular performances, 6 rebounds, also 6 assists to go along with it. He's going to be a special player for years to come. Next, we got the number 1 pick, Reggie Mack, who averaged 25 points per game, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, and had special performances. A 44 career high for him against Phoenix, 40, 11, and 7 against Jalen Green in the last game of the season, also hitting the game winner. And the last guy as a candidate, we have Rich Mack, averaged 24 and 10 a game, and was tied in the NBA in blocks per game, and had monster performances. But now it's time to reveal the winner. And the winner of the Rookie of the Year goes to no other than Reggie Mack. Reggie Mack, I already talked about what he did for the Sacramento Kings, man. They handed him the keys and told him to bring them. They told him to bring them to the promised land. And that's what he did. Got him in the playing spot at least, but we still got to see if they're officially going to be in the playoffs. We'll see that next episode. But what he done for this team, 24 and a half points a game, basically 25 points, 8 rebounds as a 2 guard, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. Shot 45, 32, and 81. He was handed the keys, and he's built for it. He's built for it. Still 19 years old, doing what he does, and he's just a special talent, generational talent, GOATED talent. Most years, Rich Mack will win this award, but his brother just beat him this year. And it sucks. But moving on to the MVP, let's take a look at the candidates. We have 6 real candidates for MVP, so let's take a look at that right now. the first of the 6 candidates, we got Luka Doncic out of the Dallas Mavericks. Luka led the league in scoring, averaging 29 points, 8 rebounds, also 10 assists to go along with that. And he also had the season high 57 points for the Dallas Mavericks, led his team to 49 wins, and he is yet to win the MVP award. But moving on to the next player, we got Nikola Jokic, 2-time MVP, averaged 24 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists a game. Nikola Jokic was so dominant, led his team to the second best record in the Western Conference, and is looking to capture his third MVP award. Then we got Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was also in a race for Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis carried the Milwaukee Bucks to one of the best records in the league. Averaged 29 points per game, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Also shot at a career high 35% from the three-point line. Giannis is still improving on his game. Then we got Zion Williamson. Zion averaged 28 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, and led his team to the best record in the Western Conference once again. And he's looking to win another MVP and win more championships. And now we got Cade Cunningham. Cade led his team to the best record in the NBA, 55 wins. Also averaged 23 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists, and 1 steal, and was the leader for the team and had multiple dominant performances. Cade is one of the best passers in the NBA and also scores to go along with it too. And finally, we got LaMelo Ball, who is looking to capture his first MVP, was in the race last year but fell out of it due to losing more games. He averaged 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists. He took a jump in his assist department, and he's looking to claim that first MVP award. And the winner of the MVP goes to Luka Doncic, surprisingly for the first time. Luka Doncic averaged 29 points, 8 rebounds, 9.6 assists, 1 steal, and shot 47, 41, and 83. Led the league in scoring, and he had no other all-star on his team. Fred VanVleet is an all-star, probably caliber player a couple years ago. But Luka Doncic just carried the load for this team. They won 49 games and ended up getting the 4th seed, but what he was able to do was spectacular. Luka Doncic finally gets his first MVP award, so shout out to him. And now let's move into the All-NBA teams. All right, now let's take a look at the All-NBA teams. LaMelo Ball, first team All-NBA. And let's take a look at his numbers. 24, 8, and 11. Led the league in steals also. Second person at the guard spot, we have Luka Doncic, the MVP, of course. We also got Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Defensive Player of the Year. Zion Williamson led his team to the best record in the Western Conference, and Nikola Jokic led his team to the second best record and basically averaged a triple-double if you want to round his numbers up. So that is the first team. I feel like that's just a unanimous first team right there. Second team, we got Trae Young, averaged 26 points, a career high 11.7 assists a game. Just having a spectacular season, and efficiency was through the roof, shot 98% from the free throw line. You also got Cade Cunningham, led his team to the best record in the league, 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 11 assists, taking a leap in the passing department, Cade Cunningham. Then we had Jason Tatum, and this was also about the fake stats from last year. Look at this bullshit that 2K be doing. But Jason Tatum, averaging 26 a game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and also playing elite level defense, and just missed 50, 40, 90. Just missed it. And also shot an extraordinary clip from the free throw line, too. And then Scotty Barnes, his teammate, averaged 20.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.6 blocks, and shot 50% from the field. And also played at a Defensive Player of the Year level, Scotty Barnes. And then Joel Embiid, rounding out the second team, averaging 24 a game, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, a career high in assists, and also 2 blocks a game. Now moving on to the third team, we had Ja Morant, averaging 24 points, 11 assists a game, shooting over 50% from the field as a point guard. Darius Garland, averaging 23 points per game and 10 assists, roughly the same numbers as last year. Just averaged one more rebound. And then his teammate Evan Mobley also made the team, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, one steal, and 2.5 blocks. Then we have Paolo Banchero, teammate of Cade Cunningham, and also was the second guy on the best team in the league, averaging 23 a game, 9 rebounds, 4.5 assists. Then at the 5 spot, we got Jimbo Jackson, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. And we could look at potential snubs. Donovan Mitchell, nigga, you should have made the playoffs. Jalen Green, you could be in a conversation. Anthony Edwards, y'all team was garbage. Devin Booker, he needed a new face scan. Reggie Mack, honestly, Reggie Mack, next year you definitely could be on this list, but you should just make it just for making Sacramento relevant. And looking at the forward spot, Jaylen Brown should have made the play-in. Rich Mack, ooh, he could definitely have a case, but Jimbo Jackson just had better counter numbers. But Rich Mack got his team to 50 wins, basically turned around the team with him being on the roster. Because that's someone that you could just give it to and get a bucket anytime. But all defensive team, we got Fred VanVleet playing at an all defensive level, and I kind of got to put some respect on his name because, I was talking about the MVP candidate. He wasn't playing good, but his percentages went up from what it was like the past couple of years. God damn. Reggie Mack. This is why he won the award. He averaged 25 a game and also gave you first team level defense, bro. Reggie Mack is such a versatile defender that could guard basically 1 through 4 comfortably, depending on the 4 matchup. But I know he's skinny, but he has the length to make it up. I think around like a 7'5" wingspan. He's already 6'9", and just athleticism through the roof, dog mentality. He takes defense seriously. As a rookie, he is special. Then we also got the defensive player of the year, Giannis, Scotty Barnes, and we ended up putting Jaren Jackson at the 5 spot. Just a great rim protector and a versatile defender, Jaren Jackson. And going to the second team, we have Davion Mitchell making the second team. Tyree Smith, who was on the Detroit Pistons. They had to get someone that was on the best defense in the league. I was saying the country. This ain't college. Also got Jonathan Isaac, another defensive player of the year candidate. And we added Jason Tatum to the list too, playing at a defensive player all defensive level, and also giving you 26 a game. And Rich Mack had to make it too, just changing the team's defense culture around. I wanted to see what was their defense rating last year, but Rich Mack turning that around. So we have 2 rookies in the all defensive teams. That just shows you how great this draft class is. And speak about the draft class, it's time to get into the all rookie teams. And we got Reggie Mack, we got Rich Mack, we got Austin Mack, we got Jabari Mack. And then we got Joe Banks rounded out right here. And that was the 5 candidates for Rookie of the Year. And looking at the second team, we got Danny Tyler. Don't sleep on these guys, too. They're going to have a bright future as well. Danny Tyler averaged 17 a game and 6 assists and shot 40% from 3. Trent Beretta averaged 11 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. That's a lot of assists for a center. And also shot 35% from 3. Needs to get the field goal percentage up more. Then we got Jay Anthony, who I was talking about how he earned the starting spot in the second half, towards the second half of the season, and didn't look back. 11 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, filled up the stat sheets, and shot it very efficiently. And then we got Jeremy Goodson, averaged 19 a game, wasn't too far off from his teammate James Bouknight, who ended up winning Most Improved Player of the Year. But Jeremy Goodson is for sure their franchise player, and is going to be a special scorer as he advances in the league. Then we got Khalif Kingston rounding it out. The counter numbers isn't too sexy. 9.8 points per game, basically 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. But the impact is still there. Improved the team's defense as a rookie. And the potential snubs, Scott Kane could be. He's in a conversation. This is just a great rookie class. Scott Kane and Maurice Davis. Maurice Davis didn't get the most opportunity as he probably would on a different team because Nick Smith was hogging the minutes but is still playing ass. But as the season went on, Mo Davis, let's look at his numbers since the All-Star break. He averaged 17 a game and he was getting more minutes and started a little bit more games, but didn't play too well when he started. Let's look at that. It's crazy. But Scott Kane, he hooped after the All-Star break. 23 points per game. He was going off. He's going to be special for the Utah Jazz. And anybody else? Rico Ryder. He was possibly the biggest snub. He possibly could have made over Trent Bredder and Cleve Kingston and started hooping after Kuminga and Karl-Anthony Towns went down, averaged 20 points since the All-Star break and 7 rebounds. And Devontae Tucker is another player that's going to be a really good player for years to come. Corey Cousins, Troy Mack. So you got other really good players in this class. And that will do it for this video. Let's take a look at the playoff standings and the play-in real quick. That's going to be in the next episode. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's your boy RegDolla. Hit the bell, do all that great stuff, and stay tuned for the next episode because it's about to be the play-in. We're going to play the 7 and 8 matchups on both sides, and then we're going to send the rest to the playoffs. You dig. I'm out of here.